So students, we completed that stomach. Now next part is the small intestine. So it is very much important that things are there here. The small intestine is highly coiled and about 7.5 meter long. Its length is 7.5 meter long. Its name is small intestine, but actually it is larger than the large intestine. Total two intestines are there: small intestine and large intestine. But the small intestine, the length of small intestine is 7.5 meter long. So actually it is larger than the large intestine, but name is small intestine only. So it receives secretion from the liver, and the pancreas besides its wall also secretes juices. It means it receives secretion from the liver and pancreas. Glands. About gland I told you that salivary gland, liver and pancreas. These all three glands secrete some secretions, digestive juices. So the liver is a reddish brown gland. Liver is a reddish brown gland. The color of the liver is reddish brown. It is situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. Where it is situated? It is situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. And it is the largest gland in the body. Again one question arises, which is the largest gland in the body? So answer is liver. Liver is the largest gland in the body. It secretes bile juice. Which juice liver secretes? So liver secretes bile juice, and bile juice is stored in a sac called the gall bladder. Bile juice stored in a gall bladder. So the bile plays an important role in the digestion of fats. Again one question. The bile plays an important role in the digestion of fat. So the pancreas is a large cream colored gland located just below the stomach. Again, liver is a reddish brown and pancreas is a cream colored gland. And pancreas located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrates, fats and proteins and changes them into simple forms. So liver secretes bile juice and pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. That you have to remember. And that pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrate, fats and proteins and changes them into simple, it means simple substance, you can say. So the small intestine is approximately 7.5 meter long coiled tube present below the stomach, and the walls of the small intestine produce the intestinal juice. Small intestine also receives digestive juices from the liver, gallbladder and pancreas. So both the intestinal juice and digestive juices completely break down the food into simple nutrients and then absorbed by the walls of the small intestine. So the partially digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine. After this process completed, now partly digested food that passes the lower part of the small intestine, where intestinal juice completes the digestion of all components of the food. There was intestinal juice that produced by intestine that complete the digestion of the components of the food, whatever components are there in a food. So the carbohydrate get broken into simple sugar such as glucose, and fats into fatty acid, and glycerol, and protein into amino acid. So that liver and gallbladder, the liver is a large reddish organ. It produces bile, and the bile is stored in a small sac like organ called gallbladder. Bile helps to break down fat. This much you have to remember. Now about pancreas. So the pancreas is a leaf-shaped organ. Um, it produces pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice partially digests carbohydrate, fats, and protein. At the end of digestion, carbohydrates are digested into simple sugar like glucose. Similarly, fat are digested into fatty acid and glycerol, and protein are digested into amino acid. Thus, the ingested food gets digested in the small intestine into forms that can be absorbed by our body. So after that, that absorption in the small intestine. So first of all, what is absorption? So the process by which the nutrients from the digested food are absorbed by the body is called absorption. So here only, the digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine, and this process is called absorption. Now, inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outwards. Now you know that in small intestine, that inner wall of the small intestine, some finger-like structures are there, outgrowths are there, and these are called villi. So what are villi? Question here. What are villi? So the inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths. These are called villi, and singular villus only. So the villi increase the surface area of absorption of the digested food, and each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface, and the surface of the villi absorb the digested food material. The absorbed substance are transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body, where they are used to build complex substance as the protein required by the body. So it means the small intestine absorb all the nutrients produced by the the breakdown of carbohydrate, proteins and fats. It means carbohydrate, protein and fats break down and produce that many nutrients. So that small intestine absorb these all nutrients. So after that, the wall of small intestine, where number of that tiny finger-like projection called villi. So that you can see that here also, that villi. This is the small intestine. Now this, when you zoom it, you can see this. These are villi, and again one villus. If you zoom it, one singular is villus only. When you zoom it, you can see this type of structure is there. So there are about, how many villi are there in small intestine? You know that about 5 or 6 million villi in the small intestine. Girls, how many villi are there in small intestine? About 5 to 6 million villi present in the small intestine. So each villus has a network of blood vessels in it, and the villi increase the surface area of absorption so that the digested food is easily absorbed, and this is called assimilation. So in the cells, glucose break down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. So the food remains undigested and unabsorbed, enters into large intestine. So as I told you, students, that whatever we eat, finally it converts into glucose, and when so now blood carry this glucose to all cells of the body. Now when we breathe in oxygen. So where oxygen also that reach to all cells of the body. Now this oxygen break down this glucose. So carbon dioxide, water and energy will release. So when we breathe out, carbon dioxide, and we use this energy to do the different work. So that energy, now the food that remains undigested, or we can say unabsorbed, that enters into large intestine.